Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Jimmy Foosball here, bringing you the HFL 2024 Week 12 recap. Let's get right into the shit, starting with our fantasy player of the week, Saquon Barkley. Now on Frank's team, what did he do this week? How about 26 rush attempts for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 47 receiving yards on top of that. Our kicker of the week, Will Lutz, 5 for 5 field goals, 2 for 2 extra points. And our defense of the week, the Houston Texans, with a touchdown, interception, 2 fumble recoveries, and 30 points allowed. Going over our matchup in week 12, our first one features our team of the week, Brees Company versus Fratty Jones. Mike gets the W in this one, 144-94. Is this the end of the Daddy's Home era?
Man, it's you who is good. You know what else is good? Smoking dope.
To be determined. Brees Company is our team of the week this week. So going through the lineup, Patrick Mahomes, 28 points. Derrick Henry, 15 points. Bucky Irving, 24 points. Cooper Kupp, 16. Malik Neighbors, 9.4. Schoonmaker, 13. Chuba Hubbard, 14.5. Roma Dunze, 6.4. Baltimore defense, 6. And Sanders, 11.2 points. On the other side for Fratty Jones, his top performers are Nico Collins, Jalen Hurts, and the Tampa Bay defense. Jalen Hurts, 179 yards and a touchdown for 15 points. McCaffrey, only 31 yards and a fumble this week for 6.3 points. Nico Collins, 5 receptions, 92 yards, and a touchdown for 17.7 points. And the Buccaneers defense with 11 points. Mike now has a 7-5 record. JD with a 5-7 record. Our second matchup of week 12 is between Bamford Legend and Mr. Miami. And Mr. Miami pulls out the W. The consolation Grim Reaper spoils Fink's week. Fink still clinching a playoff berth despite the loss. Top performers for Fink are Tony Pollard, Houston defense, and George Kittle. I don't know why he did it, but Fink started Tommy DeVito this week. 189 yards, 10.76 points from him. George Kittle, 6 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown for 17.2 points. Tony Pollard, 119 yards and a touchdown for 21.4 points. Houston defense, our defense of the week, they had 19 points. Jonathan Taylor struggles yet again, only 3.5 points this week. On the other side for Joe, putting up a solid 137 points. His top performers, Jordan Addison, AJ Brown, and Aaron Jones. He starts Baker Mayfield, 294 yards, a rushing touchdown for 18.66 points. Aaron Jones, 106, a touchdown and a fumble for 19.4. AJ Brown, 6 receptions, 109, and a touchdown for 20.9. And Addison, 8 receptions, 162, and a touchdown for 27.2 points. Fink with an 8-4 record. Joe with a 4-8 record. Our third matchup of the week features the Duck of the week, Amanabo, versus Just My. And Cleary gets the W, 109 to 82.9 points. It's almost a must win for Cleary after a 3-game losing streak. With this win, he controls his own destiny if he makes it into the playoffs or not. This is what Cleary had to say about Stephen Lombardi's good game message.
Hey, you talking about well fought? I knew you was gonna be the Duck. You see what I'm wearing? I knew you was gonna be the Duck.
As I said, Lombardi is our Duck of the week, so going through the lineup, Jaden Daniels, 275 yards, 3 total touchdowns, 2 picks, 30.4 points. Roshan Johnson, 2 yards and a touchdown, 7.7 points. That's pretty lucky. Laube, I don't know who this is, but it's a donut. The Raiders running back with all the injuries. He drops a donut. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9.2. Mike Evans in his return, 9.3. Mark Andrews, 13.1 points. Christian Watson, 0.4 points. Ricky Pearsall, a donut as well. Pittsburgh defense with 7 points. And Jake Moody with 5.8 points. For Cleary, his top performers are Josh Jacobs, Tua, and Terry McLaurin. Tua, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns, 29.48 points. Josh Jacobs, 106 and 3 touchdowns for 29.6 points. And Terry McLaurin, 5 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. One of them being an 80-plus yard crazy play in the final seconds of that game. That game was absolutely insane. Lombardi now with a 7 7-5 record. Cleary controlling his own destiny with the 6-6 record. Our fourth matchup of the week is the game of the week. It features Hairline Avengers and the Commish. Gabe getting the W, 120.16 points to Commish's 111.36 points. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what the Commish's pun name was. Looking at a preview of this week's name, Joe Nixon is what it's gonna be. Gabe halts the Commish's 3-game winning streak. Top performers for Gabe include Cortland Sutton, Jameer Gibbs, and Nick Chubb. Gabe starts Geno Smith, 12.36 points. Jameer Gibbs, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns for 23.4. Sutton, 8 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns for 25.7. And Chubb, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns for 18.5 points. For the Commish, we got Trey McBride, JSN, and Dicker the kicker, the top performers. He starts Jared Goff, 269 yards for 10.76 points. Trey McBride, 12 receptions, 133 yards for 20.3 points. JSN, 6 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown for 16.7. And Cameron Dicker, 3 for 3, field goal, 2 for 2 extra points for 16.6 points. Gabe now has a 5-7 record. Boston with a 5-7 record as well. Fifth matchup of week 12 is between Sosa Jeff and the manager. Zach gets the win to absolutely nobody's surprise. He's currently on a 9-game winning streak. He clinches the first spot for the first round bye week in the playoffs. David also clinches a consolation berth. Top performers for Zach are DJ Moore, Lamar Jackson, and A. Chan. Lamar Jackson, 177, 3 total touchdowns, 22.58 points. A. Chan, 32 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, 19.1 points. DJ Moore, 7 for 106 and a touchdown, 24.4 points. Top performers for the manager are Jalen Warren, Spencer Schrader, and Michael Pittman Jr. Kyler Murray, 285 and a pick for 10.3 points. Jalen Warren, 45 yards and a touchdown for 13.9 points. Pittman Jr., 6 for 96 yards, 12.6 points. And Schrader, 3 for 3 field goal, 3 for 3 extra points, 12.7 fantasy points. Zach now has an impressive 11-1 record. David with a 3-9 record. Sixth and final matchup of the week is between Intimidation Infinite XX and Squidward Tortellini. Frank gets the W, 132 to Tortellini's 104. This win helps Frank keep his playoff hopes alive as he currently sits at a 2% chance of making the playoffs. Perhaps the Make 2 and 6 Great Again movement lives on. Top performers for Frank are Saquon, Herbert, and the Miami defense. Saquon being our fantasy player of the week, who had a whopping 46.2 points. Justin Herbert, 218 yards, a rushing touchdown for 17.62 points. Miami defense with an interception, a fumble recovery, 9 points allowed for 13 points. For JP, Lutz, who is our kicker of the week, David Montgomery, and Jordan Love. Jordan Love, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 14.72 points. David Montgomery, 37 yards and a touchdown for 14.8. And Lutz, our kicker of the week, with 24.3 points. Frank now has a 4-8 record. JP with a 7-5 record. Looking at the standings, you see the Z with the asterisk next to Sosa Jeff, signifying the first round bye week. Congratulations to Sosa Jeff on securing that position. You also see the X near Bamford legend Jordan Fink, meaning he has clinched a playoff spot, 100% chance of making it in. Then we have Mike, JP, and Barty have high playoff percent chances of 97, 92, and 86. They are currently battling with Fink for the second first round bye week spot. Cleary controlling his own destiny at 6-6 by his lonesome. Boston, JD, and Gabe fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. Boston with a 23%, JD with a 28% chance, and Gabe with a 15% chance of making the playoffs. Frank and Joe are down, but they are not out. Frank with a 2% chance, Joe with a 1% chance. There is still hope. However, no hope for the manager with the E next to his name, signifying he has been eliminated from playoff contention. We will see him in the consolation for another year. I would go over our parlay again, but I don't really have info. Apparently it's the best one yet, but guess what? We still didn't win. So we're not rich. We're not going on vacation. Back to our regular jobs. Boo. Who?
Brokey, yeah, I talk a lot of shit.
There are only 2 weeks left in the regular season. Teams fighting for playoff spots. Who's going to end up making it? Who is going to fall from grace? We will always keep you posted here with the HFL media team. Looking at our Week 13 matchup previews. Every matchup is crucial in this coming week. It's a must-win for everybody, except Zach, of course. So we're going to be looking at all matchups in Week 13. Can't wait to go over it with you guys. Thank you for watching another week of the HFL recap with me, Jimmy Foosball, your host. I appreciate you for watching. Thank you guys again. I will see you next week. Peace.